my name is Tom. Welcome back to another Webinar Wednesday with PowerTech. Today's point of discussion is going to be the future of M2M. So what is M2M, you might ask yourself? M2M is an analogy that we use to describe machine-to-machine learning. This is primarily a process where no humans are involved at all. We're talking about bringing online machines that typically don't have any real connectivity or report any kind of statistics or usage, and then how we can enable these machines to do smarter things by working together. You might have seen from our previous videos, we've done a brief overview of the Internet of Things. M2M and the Internet of Things, IoT and machine-to-machine, are integrally linked. IoT is looking at it from a more broader perspective in terms of connectivity. IoT encompasses all sorts of things such as your smartphone, wearables like smartwatches, your Fitbits, all these different elements, whereas machine-to-machine is more so focusing on the element of IoT, where we're looking at bringing devices that are typically not online devices or user interface devices such as fridges or maybe like your vacuum cleaner, like your robo vacuum, those sorts of things, and then how this data can be pushed into not just everyday decision making, helping to simplify or automate home systems, but also how that data is used in data-driven businesses such as Facebook or Google. These guys obviously have a massive requirement or really looking forward to knowing all the information they can pull off of devices that have previously had no connectivity. So once again, when it comes to PowerTech, our core ethos is around connectivity. We're always looking for how to improve connectivity, primarily between human connections, but this also comes into it as well, because a lot of these devices, you know, the vending machine that sits on the corner of the main street probably doesn't have any kind of way to easily connect back to the internet or send any of this information across. So in a previous example, in the IoT video, I believe I gave an example there of a vending machine and how we could turn that into a smarter process through the use of connectivity. This is a great example of M2M. So in this example, we have a vending machine. The vending machine runs out of stock of line item 6. It automatically sends a message to the modem or the router that's contained in the vending machine, which then issues a command, and that command could be many things, something as simple as a phone call or a text, or it could be something more complicated such as a pre-done PDF where it fills out a allotted number, and that gets sent to then a human in order to action, saying that there's a work order that needs to occur, X amount of this product needs to go out to this location in order to stock it. This makes us more efficient. We're saving on time. Instead of somebody having to go out and check all these vending machines and bring X amount of stock out, all the different little expenses that come down here, when looked at on a mass scale, is a massive saving and a massive improvement that we can see for the world. And this is why it's a very exciting thing to sort of be a part of, that we're seeing moving this forward more and more. So that's a very brief example of machine-to-machine where it's a one-stage process. We've got the vending machine is talking with a modem. There's no human involved in that. The vending machine triggers through a digital input or a digital output, knows what it wants to tell. It signals that through electrical signals to the unit, which then triggers a human-readable outcome on the other side. That's the basic principle that lies behind M2M. As you start to expand on that more and more, this is when we start to bring in the future for machine learning, AI, and again, those data-driven businesses that are really interested in things like how often is that machinery stocked? What times are people using it, pressing those buttons the most? As they start to pull more and more data from these different devices that previously had no connectivity or no real way of easily sort of getting mass usage and area specific usage as well, because locality is very important when it comes to data sets. We begin to then able to form better pictures of how to optimize, prioritize. A lot of it comes back to advertising because that's where the money's at. But this is the exciting things. So as this gets further, we start to lead more into automation systems. So things being intelligent, our water sprinkler system switching on at a certain time of day automatically, turning off when our moisture sensors hit a certain reading, and it all ties back in with all these different bits and pieces we've been talking about previously. And machine to machine is just one of those little topics that you'll come across. And so that M2M, that's what it's really talking about. It's looking at removing the human element that is typically quite a, I don't know, boring process, I suppose. And letting the machines sort of have this communication between themselves in order to get this information through to either a human readable format or maybe even to eliminate the human involvement in the process. There's plenty of other examples. I've only just touched on this, and again, it's part of a much greater segment altogether when looked at from this IoT, IoE sort of perspective, or, you know, again, you can start to go into these different strains, the AI element, the automation conversation. There's lots of interesting stems that this starts to open up. They really are saying this is going to be the fourth revolution for humanity as we start to automize and optimize our culture and our society. So it's a really interesting topic. We hope to do a few more videos on it, but I hope I've given you a little taste and a little bit of an understanding of what that simple acronym means. Feel free to come in, have a chat with us. We obviously supply a bunch of different M2M devices, primarily looking at different routers, modems, again, providing that connectivity element. That's our core here at PowerTech. We look to have everything connected. So by all means, if you have any questions, leave them in the comments below or get in touch with somebody at PowerTech and we'll be happy to help you out. That's all for today, guys. Thanks a lot. Have a good one. Bye.